Autism is a developmental disorder that affects the brain. We don't really know the causes of autism, but children with autism meet 3 diagnostic criteria. The first is that they have difficulties with communication, so they may not develop speech, they may not be able to speak, they may have social skills deficits, and they may also have repetitive, persistent behaviors that are not typical.
Repetition for children, particularly with autism, is incredibly important. They have to do the same things over and over and over again. It makes them feel safe.
It was very overwhelming, I think, for us when she was diagnosed and what we had to do with it, because at the time, and we're talking this is 11 years ago, there wasn't very much support in Dubai for children who were autistic or had learning difficulties.
There were hardly any services available. There were some centers for disability, but very rudimentary services, very basic. It was more of a nursery keeping them there.
Sarah, before she started any kind of therapy, if she didn't like something, she would scream. She would get very frustrated, very angry, and all the sensory things, loud noises. Being in a mall was just impossible. Too many people, too much noise, too much happening. So it made life very difficult in terms of what we could do, where we could go. She didn't interact very much with anyone at all. At the age of 3, Sarah started with about 30 hours a week, ABA therapy, so applied behavioural therapy, and some occupational therapy and some speech therapy. I was sat one day in the waiting room, and a lady came and sat down next to me, and she said, "Oh, do you have a child that's here?" And yes, and I explained to her about Sarah, and then I asked her if she had a child there, and she said, No, I'm the music therapist here. And I said, "Oh wow, that's amazing." So we got chatting, and Sarah came out of her session, and the lady said, "Oh, would you like me to try and spend some time with Sarah and do some music therapy with her?" In the space of 3 months, Sarah went from a girl who didn't say very much, who was quite sullen and who, didn't want to interact with people, to somebody who would come running down the stairs singing a song and pick up an instrument.
Music affects everybody's lives. Music touches everybody's lives. And through the music, you establish a relationship, you build a relationship. Hi, how are you? My name's Marion. How are you? You can communicate using music as the medium. This is your chair. Can you sit down there for me? Good boy. We're going to do some music together. Is that okay? An awful lot of autistic children have issues with loud sounds. I'm going to sing you a little song, okay? Music is a very structured thing. This is a hello song. You know that it'll always start and it'll always finish, and there's a bit in the middle. Hello, hello. Within the actual session, I start with a hello song. There are various activities throughout the session, and then I conclude with the goodbye song. So there's a start, and there's an ending, and then there's, as I say, the stuff in the middle. Khalifa, hi. Can you do that? Can you go hi? Hi. Good boy. I hope to be able to help these families by giving their child these 14 weeks of, one-to-one music therapy. Hello, Marion. That's me. Hi. That may lead to changes, differences in behaviours. Good. Because it's music time. Okay. I'm assessing them. I'm doing a lot of assessing on the first session, and I don't know what they're going to do, and they don't know what they're going to do. It's just a whole new ball game for both of us. Today was more about just seeing what he liked, what he favoured. Well, part of the overall thing is to try and help their concentration levels, because one of the traits is they kind of flit from one thing to another. His concentration is so good. He's stuck with that ocean drum for a long time. Sit down. Right, let's have a look at this one. Oh, wow, that was loud. In that relationship, there's trust, and we build on that, and we're doing the skills of sharing, of taking turns. Can we hit the drum? Can we hit the drum? I'll be bringing in following, leading. At the moment, he'll hopefully follow me, and I'll be the leader. I use a lot of the same techniques, different instruments. Wow! But the aims are the same, you know, working with them, listening, being aware, and the basic thing, which is to build the relationship through the music making. Goodbye, Khalifa. Well done, Khalifa. We've had lots of fun today, and I'll see you next week again.
ABA is an approach to education that's based on principles of learning. And of course, music therapy is a treatment approach that can be used as a supplement. It's something that many children benefit from. It might not teach them the academic skills and the social skills, although music could be easily a vehicle for establishing social relationships and teaching social skills. I see that as being an important adjunct.
With my family, I mean, we don't have autism in our family, both sides, okay, so. And when I used to say that he's different, there's something wrong with him, everybody used to tell me I'm exaggerating, he's gonna grow out of it. As a mother, you feel if something is not right. He has different behaviors. Social interaction is very minimal. With my husband, it was difficult for him to accept the fact that his son has this problem. You know, your brother was also hyper like him. I had to explain, besides the hyperactivity, there were many other things that I know that they were not normal. And the more I did research on it, the more I was convinced that I need to go and get him diagnosed. And I'm like, it's okay, I can just send him. If it's not autism, great, Yani. You know, if it is, and if I ignore it, then I'm wasting valuable time.
Mohammed, Mohammed, would you like to come and play? Would you like to come and play? Mohammed, would you like to come? Come play some music. Would you like to come over and play? Would you like to come over beside me? Hello, hello, it's music time today. Hello. I think it will be more difficult to build a relationship with Mohammed. That will be trickier. I think the fact that Khalifa is that much younger and, you know, early intervention is the thing with autism. The earlier you get in before they set up their barriers and before they completely go into themselves, the better. He wasn't engaging musically, so I just worked with his rhythm and, you know, whichever rhythm it was. For me, there's a lot to work with there. I can reflect these rhythmical sounds and hopefully he'll let me in. What does that mean? Something like that? Oh, overstepping the mark. Vocally, I mimicked him a couple of times and he knew exactly what I was doing. I don't know that he was that happy about it. Well done, Mohammed. Perhaps we can push his behaviour pattern over onto the instruments rather than on people for responses and reactions. That would be a nice outcome for him and for the family. I've learned a lot today about his space. I'm going into Mohammed's domain and I don't feel safe for a start because I don't know what happens.
means a lot. That was okay. Hamoudi. One day he was very upset, and then at night, after finishing his food, he used a plate to hit this here wall until it got this damage. It's very hard. It's not just like that. But imagine when he insists on something, he makes sure that he reaches his target. But he was very upset, and the whole house was upside down. جملته مش أكثر من كلمتين بالكثير 3 كلمات. ويعبر عن حاجات محدودة كمان نفس الشيء. الجملات الجملات اللي هي يتكلمها مثلا إذا كان جملة فيها كلمة أو كلمتين أو 3 ممكن تكون لغتين عربي وإنجليزي. بس يفهم أكثر من ما إنه يتكلم.
I don't know how to describe him. He's a really, really good kid. He came in with little eye contact, with echolalia, which is basically repeating. If he didn't get what he wanted right away, then that would turn into behavior. Screaming, maybe some shouting, maybe some pushing things over. Now, Khalifa is a very smart boy. I tested him, I believe, last summer, honestly. He came in and I tested him on his reading level.
Too bad or not too bad?
We're using a reading program and he would be considered on a 5th, 6th grade level for reading, which is pretty impressive. Math, very quick to learn math, very quick. He loves it. You know, he's a really, really smart kid. And he did come back to us for behavior issues. He wasn't challenged enough. And this is where your special educators have to make sure that they also see. He was put into a class that was far below his level, was age appropriate, and he'd already seen that. He'd already done those things.
One of the difficulties we're facing is that children with autism very rarely become included in public school or private school. Well, basically normal school. You know, UAE law, 2006, law, if I'm not mistaken, 19, 2006, has given individuals with disability, regardless of the type of disability, the right to be included in normal school, whether that's public or private. Now, having the law backing up families is not enough. You need to have the system in place. You have to have the trained individuals. You have to have the proper environment.
You know, I guarantee if you go into any mainstream class here, you will absolutely be able to see quite a few special needs kids that are singled out. They are on the sidelines. It is hard for the teachers here. It's not the teacher's fault initially.
We serve 62 children. At the center, we have 42, and then we also have 20 children that we serve who are already reintegrated to regular schools.
The teachers in this country do need more support when it comes to special needs.
I don't want my kid to be sitting and waiting. I mean, if he can do something to help himself, let there be programs to help him to do so.
You fall through the cracks, you know, that's really sad. That's a sad thing.
I was doing Lovely to see him again. He was quite happy to be back in the room with me. choosing instruments and wanting to do things, getting more confident immediately. He's quite controlled. It's very obvious in things like the piano. He likes to set the volume at a particular level.
Oops, it's too loud.
Is it too loud? When I know he can say stop, or when I knew that he was able to stop a sound that was too loud for him, then we can move on from there. And it's building the trust. It's that he knows I'm not going to do something awful and bang down really loudly and upset him. He himself was going for louder when he lifted both his hands and really going to hit it hard. So he was pushing his own boundaries at that point, which is good. It's good. Come and play, come and play, come and play. Soup. Go on then. Take. That was quite unexpected. Having had last week where he sat in the hallway on his own for a while, for him to interact so quickly was great. I thought, oh, we're off. But as I say, it's very difficult to hold the guitar, and I was trying to make some chords at the same time from a rather awkward position. We negotiated, we reached an understanding, and there was 1 or 2 points of real connectivity between us. I think we'll carry on with getting as much interaction between us as possible, and the idea of your turn, my turn, sharing. Thank you. Can I stop at 24? So it's my turn. Ready? My turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Sillet.
In half an hour.
Sillet.
I don't know what sillet means.
Sillet.
What does sillet mean?
Sillet.
When we're finished, then you can tell me what you mean. Your dad can tell me. Okay, I'll sit here. Don't take your top off again, it's too cold. We were playing instruments, we were sharing, everything was fine. I don't know what happened to change the mood. Something, a switch was flicked. No, listen. When we're finished, we'll talk to Baba, and he'll tell me what you mean, okay? Because I don't understand, Mohammed. I don't understand, okay? Yeah, I don't, Mohammed, listen, Mohammed, I don't understand, okay? So when we're no, don't get stressed. No, Mohammed, don't. No, stay calm. It's all right. No, I don't understand, Mohammed. I don't understand. Okay, let's go and play some more music. No, you're getting stressed. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't pinch. You know that's not good. Mohammed, listen. Okay, let's sit down. Let's sit down. Okay. No, I can tell you.
نرجع ونقول إن ما في إدراك وعي معين لهالموضوع. إحنا قبل لا نقول والله مثل في عندك مراكز التوحد أوكي، وبعدين نسير لعندهم قلت والله على الويتنج ليست. حق شو ياس تسوي دعاية وإعلان أنت؟
Unfortunately, there's a greater need than we can meet right now. So we do have a waiting list, fairly lengthy waiting list.
ليش صار في waiting list؟ أولاً أنا ما في إحصاء حق الحالات.
This is a problem that children have to be on the waiting list for so long that they are missing opportunities. That, as I said earlier, we know that the sooner you can begin the treatment, the better the outcome.
في حال عرفنا عدد الأطفال المصابين سواء كان أطفال أو كبار السن مصابين بالتوحد، من خلال نقدر نحدد عدد المراكز سواء كان خاص أو حكومي.
إذا كان في مركز توحد على مستوى وزارة كاتحادي، ما هي تفرق عنا الحين هني في الإمارات إنها كفدرالية، لكن في كل إمارة اتحادية ومحلية. الحين محلية دبي هيئة تنمية المجتمع، اتحادية دبي بتكون وزارة الشؤون. الحين هيئة التنمية أنا عن طريق هيئة التنمية في عندك مراكز ثانية اللي من الديوان، اللي من هيلث كير سيتي، اللي من كثير من المراكز الموجودة، لكن هل منها تابع لوزارة الشؤون؟ لأن وزارة الشؤون الاجتماعية هي اللي تختص في أمور الإعاقة، وإذا كانت سمعية، نظرية، بصرية إلى آخره، هي اللي تحدد قوانينهم، هي اللي توقف كتنوب عنهم في أمور كثيرة.
Khalifa, he don't know how to talk. We cannot sit 1 minute also, always running, breaking all things. He's very, very naughty. When he start little talking, he's first calling my name and Kulud name. Khalifa anytime park, swimming, anywhere taking, how many hours playing, he is not asking going home. But that day I don't know, within 45 minutes, he is making very trouble to me. I cry also, I can't control, I cry. I want to go home. You want food, I buy popcorn, no, these all throwing ground. I don't want food. I call him, he is not answering. Anytime, no one call me, he cut me immediately call. That day what happened? How many times? 15 minutes I try. Maybe he's sleeping, he forgot phone, he went with friends, I don't know, immediately I call madam. She said, I am still in office, why didn't call Mohammed, he is in the home. Yeah, but he didn't lift my phone. She tried, she scared, she immediately came fast. Yeah, my phone also not answering, I don't know where I'm going home first come. We taking home. But what is that problem that day? Down one room, up bedroom 2, inside locks. That's why we confuse very easy, we don't know. But Khalifa, he knows. That day I understand. He is anytime no crying like that. He's lot of crying when we are coming home. He knocking too much door. Baba, open door. I want to see you. He lay down. He looking down. Mommy, I want to see Baba. Tell open door. What can I do? She. That whole night we are not sleeping. Looking here and there. Morning we out. Call the man. We break the door. His body in the toilet. He fell maybe hurting this way.
With Khalifa, we may be able to help him if there is a grieving process still to be gone through. It's possible in his music he'll be able to express some of the grief that he perhaps feels. Still has issues with sound. There's a demonstration button on the keyboard that he hates with a passion.
DJ! Go away! DJ! It's not time for DJ.
It's time for DJ. What about this one then? Should we do this?
Don't press the...
You do it.
No,
Go on.
no.
Yeah, yes.
Me.
You try it. You do it. Do the demonstration. We've built up this trust. He knows I'm not going to go and play it, but he still needs to take my hands away, just in case. He actually physically puts himself between me and the keyboard in case I go and play this button. I would say he's much more focused. His concentration has definitely improved. He sticks with things longer than he did at the beginning. He's got an amazing imagination. We've had some real fun. Last week the boom whacker things I've got, he actually built it into the shape of a house, and then he had to go into the house And there only are 5 parts to the 5 sections of this. So it was the roof and the 2 sides and the bottom. And he actually climbed through the house while I was holding the roof, and he was doing the walls and over the roof, and we were doing it on the settee. And we quite often end up on the settee sharing and doing things. And I was sort of singing about it at the time, but he was going into his house, and he just found it very amusing. He was laughing as he was doing it. There's a lot more laughter, there's a lot more fun in what he's doing.
لما يشوفون حالات زي كذا في بعض الناس كثير يفكرون بهذا الشيء إنه في جن أو في روحان ولا جن.
أنا ما أقدر أخالفهم، الجني ويجينا تعرفين؟ يعني أنا يوم كانوا يقولوا يوني مرضى من خاصة من الإمارات الشمالية ودينا المطوع قال في جني، قلت هي يمكن في جني بس هالجني ما بنروم نعالجه بالأشياء العادية، لازم نعالجه بالمختبر، بنطلع هذا الجني وين ساكن، وين موجود في أي جزء من الجينات. يعني مرات الغالية أنت تحتاجين أن تنزلين لمستوى الأهالي أن تقنعينهم إذا هو عنده نقطة مقتنع فيها استغليها. يعني هو يقول جني، أنا أقول له أوكي جني بس ممكن ما يتعالج بالطريقة العادية.
Mohammed, he stopped going to school a bit over a year because he was getting very difficult to handle and the school couldn't take care of him anymore. And he was attacking kids at school, so it wasn't safe for them. Parents were complaining. He would attack the driver of the bus that he was going to, and that wasn't safe because the driver has responsibility for other kids. So I think the only solution we could come up was just let him stay at home.
You look very smart. I believe it's your birthday today. Have to come sit down. Or shall we play? Oh, but what's some of the other things? Okay, you can hold your hand. No, 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 no. 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 Come sit down.
Wait.
Sit down. Can we? No. No, Mohammed.
More.
But he was very, very unsettled today.
Yes.
This was not a good day.
Because I think he just got up when you came. He did not want to get up before that. Because of the chocolate he got from his sleep. Chocolate.
There is always a problem when he's been sleeping, when he's not in his pattern and he's wakened up, then it's difficult to engage with him.
I told him, Mohammed, Marianne is coming. He took the blanket and he just covered his face.
Yeah. See, I told you.
He didn't.
Bad day.
He wasn't looking forward to seeing you today.
No,
Yeah.
no. Well, that's fair enough. Sometimes I don't look forward to seeing people days as well. We all have our moments.
Once he's set his mind on something, it has to be done. When he's wearing shoes, it means going out.
So expect him to go out immediately.
And then I turn up. Yeah, the bad penny. Here she comes again. I didn't know until that day that when he puts on good clothes, he knows he's going out. I mean, it was a no-brainer, the whole thing. And that's where the frustration comes for me, because I think I'm wasting time, valuable time, that I should be doing with Mohammed, you know, because something else happens. I've learned a lot in the last 6 sessions with him. I learned from Sana, I learned from your wife, I learned from you as well, and I can tell when he's about to go off on one, so I'm quite strong. No. Sit down. Go then. This turning day into night, they must be exhausted. I mean, they're having to keep half awake all the time because he's awake all night, you know, and sleeps during the day. That concerns me, but he did say when he was at school and he had that routine, he was okay. So I think he needs more routine in his life, more activity during the day. Go on.
Before, when we used to tell him, Mohammed, you want to go to school? He says, Mari, I don't want. He just do this, you know? But now he says he wants to go to school. And he says Ahmed, the guy who used to take him to the bus, he mentions his name a lot as in Ahmed, as in Ahmed, take me to school. And he says uniform, he just randomly says uniform, as in put my uniform, I want to go to school. So yeah, he definitely wants to go. I feel like he wants to go back. Because he's very idle at home, on his own.
In the daytime, we go to work.
Yeah.
He's in peace.
Yeah.
Sleeps peacefully, at least 10 hours. And then the routine goes on that way. Yeah, it is hard to even adjust his sleeping. محاولنا معانا في غرفتنا في نفس السرير. ماش راضي ينام، عشان كذا نحن سوينا له الفرش اللي عندنا تحت، بحيث انه لما ينام ننزله ونحطه على الفرش، لانه ما يعرف ينام صح حتى لو نام معانا. يبغي ينام يحط راسه فوق راسي او راسه فوق راس امه، او يمسك ايده، يمسك ايد امه كذا يجيبها، يعني يتصرف على مزاجه. فسوينا له فرش تحت بحيث انه لما ينام يبدا ينام ننزله ويكون هناك يتفرغ في محله. لانه لو كان حطينا له سرير على زي سريرنا على نفس المستوى بيظل دائما عندنا وبيكون ازعاج.
We end up sleeping with all his noises. Because he constantly likes to bang spoons on the floor. We just have to wake up the next day, pray, say Alhamdulillah, move on with our life, and then come the next day and try to catch up with the sleep in the evening, you know?
It's totally different. The music teacher is in control. The music teacher tells you what to do, how to do it. A music therapist is somebody totally different. It's really up for negotiation. You know, what do you want to play next? And whatever he plays, I then go with that. If he's got a melody going, and sometimes one or two times when we were on the keyboard, we were actually totally in sync with each other because he was playing, he was dictating, and I was following. That's the therapist's role. The teacher's role is the opposite way around.
صار التوحد الحين بالنسبة للمراكز صار كتجاري، أن أنا الأهالي يستغل الأهالي إذا كان عندهم طفل توحد ادفع مبلغ الفلاني وادفع مبلغ الفلاني وادفع كذا وادفع هذا، ولا المسكين يعني إذا كان الأب والأم بيدفعون لأن يشوفوا ولدهم ليوصل للمرحلة الأحسن.
I would say we would spend in a month in the region of 30,000 dirhams just for therapy, and that wasn't even school fees on top of that.
الحين 30,000 الوقت الحاضر هي المدرسة بس 30,000. فإذا كان شخص مثلا ما عنده أو الجهات اللي يعمل فيها ما تساعده، إيش بيسوي؟
أنا هني عندي مصاريف ما بين موظفين ومركز ومواصلات وهذا 181,000 درهم، يعني أنا شهريا أدفع قريب 300,000 درهم. أنا ما أخذ تبرعات من الناس، أنا ما أخذ تبرعات من الناس. ليش مسوينها؟ هذا شيء يعود لي اما ان احد قال لي ليش، بقول لهم لله. في ناس تقول لك لا والله هذا بيسكر بعد شهر وبعد شهرين وبعد ثلاثه، والحمد لله الخير موجود.
As a local, I have the right to go to the Ministry of Social Affairs and ask for disability services, or not services, what they call benefit, which is around 4,000 something.
يبدأ التشخيص من 6000 درهم ليوصل ل 13500 درهم.
I'm a single mom now, okay, and there are a lot of expenses. And Khalifa therapy is way beyond my capabilities. When my husband passed away, it was even more difficult. Most of the time, I have to depend on what the nanny tells me, and I wish I was there more, but I have to work. Right now, if it wasn't for I have financial help from, a person who's been very kind enough to donate the therapy for Khalifa, and because I was never going to be able to afford his therapy.
Personally, my personal opinion is that if I, as a father, can manage to cover these expenses, so this is my responsibility.
Because he has so little routine in his life, I thought this would be a routine. I come every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. I am here, he should be here, and nothing should stop that happening. But lots of things have. And, today's another example. I was sitting out in the car waiting to come up, and he was off out to the shops with his dad. So where I'm trying to make it very boundaried and very controlled, it's not happening.
واحد بس. لا اوكي روبي مش هذا هذا ما بعرف، مش هذا بابا، استنى بعطيك من هناك روب ثاني مش هذا.
So it was a battle for me from start to finish, physically and emotionally, because he had 4 juices and he doesn't get them normally, and he's had chocolate and chips, and so I think I'm kind of banging my head against a wall. Maybe if he hadn't had all the treats, then we could have a much better session, because we had a good one last week, we had an even better one the week before. So I thought, this is it, we're off, we're running, we're becoming, I have a good relationship with him, I know that now. With Khalifa, it's structured. He comes and he's there and he's been at school and it's all very neat. When I come here, I just don't know what to expect each week. Mohammed, can we put our trousers back on? I'm very fond of Mohammed. There's something there. You can tell at times there's a lovely lad inside that, it's just he struggles to just keep control. Mohammed. It's an emotional roller coaster for me up in Abu Dhabi. But I think he is gaining something from it, Mohammed. I think he is. His mum said to me last week or the week before, I think he's getting used to you. Thank goodness for that.
أبو حميد شوف إيش هذا؟ يا سلام حلو. يلا قوم اجلس.
I look forward to next week when, hopefully, and he'll have had his sleep and he'll be ready to go. I don't think it helps with you lot being around, because he knows you're there. He's aware of all of that, so I think he finds that hard. The idea would be eventually that this frustration and anger that he feels because he can't express himself in any normal way would be to take it out on something like an instrument rather than physically going for people.
The only thing that we managed to get help from the government for was the fact that at the time when Sarah was diagnosed, the only therapy available was all in English. So we were stuck in a very difficult position. When she was 3 years old and we were applying for nurseries and schools, she couldn't go into a British school. The rule at the time was unless you had a British passport, you can get a space in any of these schools.
ما عندنا الكادر الإماراتي اللي يكون متخصص في هالمواضيع هاي، إذا كان أخصائي نطق ولا occupational ولا speech ولا هذا ما في، لأن الجامعات ما عندها كورس كامل لهذا الموضوع. بعدين لمتى المواطنين بس بندرس بزنس ومانجمنت واي دي ديزاين وما ادري شو، في امور ثانيه تفتح المساقات. لا انا اقول والله على الطلب، انتم افتحوا المساق للناس تيجي تقول انا نبغي.
I think the problem is, from my point of view, that a lot of times we rely on government. We are waiting for the government to solve this problem. Now, it's not that the government cannot. I think it's not the responsibility of the government alone to provide these services. I think it's the community's responsibility to cover the gaps. What parents expect, you put the child in a center with disability, comes out at the age of 16 or 18, has some skills of pre-vocational or vocational abilities, some social skills, some academic skills based on his abilities. But what we see is that they come out without any skills.
Yeah, he learned how to write his name long time ago.
He can write his name.
Yeah, but that is the qualification that he got
Right,
from
right.
the school to write his name.
Aw,
But that's great,
but-
you know.
Throughout the 10 years, the only thing you can do is Mohammed.
Parents don't have access to these centers in a sense of monitoring what's going on, having a clear outcome and expectation from these centers. Now, some centers do provide, but unfortunately a lot that don't. And the outcome is very disappointing and very minuscule, that a lot of parents are extremely angry, extremely disappointed, and unfortunately don't have anybody to turn to.
كثير من المراكز اللي فتحوا مركز للتربية خاصة، لطم من كل عائلة 79,000 درهم، 10 18 ما ادري 20 عائلة، شل فلوس وروح وسكر. هذا وين كانت الرقابة عليه؟ من يتحمل مسؤوليته هذا؟
And they are not accountable to anybody. I think this is a huge problem, that they need to have accountability. Parents are putting a lot of their hopes, their money, their time, their effort, and they're relying on these centers to provide specific services.
A lot of people, not just with autistic, with other kinds of handicap, they lock their kids inside because they don't want people to stare at their son. It's like they find it embarrassing.
بعض الناس خلاص عرفوا انه ابنهم مثلا عنده توحد او مرض، يقطعون علاقتهم ويقطعون الحياة الاجتماعية مع العوائل الأخرى عمدا. نحن ما قطعناها عمدا.
في بعض الأسر تأثر عليهم سلبا طبعا، وهذا يأثر عليهم وعلى الولد في المستقبل.
23 years old child died, and the neighbor were called for the funeral, and no one of the neighbor knew that there is a child with autism in that family. For 23 years, imagine.
في بعض الأسر لا، تتجه للتعليم، تتعلم، يعني أسرة تكون أسرة مثقفة، تقرأ، تحضر محاضرات. هذا بالعكس هذا فائدة للولد أكبر، وهذا الولد مش عيب طبعا. هذا الولد يعني سبحان الله نعمة من الله. احنا نواجهنا، أنا طفل يعني مو بصغير، بس الحمد لله، يعني الحمد لله أشوفه نعمة. هالولد نعمة، ولا مرة بالمرة ولا مرة استحيت. بالعكس أنا ولدي أقدر أوقف قدام الناس، هذا طفلي بيده واحد.
أبدا هذا الشيء مش في القاموس عندي إنه نستحي منه. لما نطلع برا نمشي معاه وكأننا أمشي مع أي طفل صاحي. اللهم هو يعني الناس يشوفوا في شيء غلط فيه، لكن أنا ما أشوف شيء غلط، ما أشوف إنه هو في شيء غلط فيه أبداً. ممكن اللي بيفكر بهذه الطريقة يعني أموره الله يعينه، لكن بالنسبة لي أنا ونحن كلنا كعائلة ولا مرة استحينا أبداً إنه أمام الناس إنه يمكن نخبيه أو نخليه في البيت ما نطلعه لأنه نستحي من كلام الناس أو من عيون الناس. لا أبداً أبداً أبداً.
شوف بورد أحمد
أحيانا لما آخذه برا يعمل حركات كأنه يمكن طفل عمره 2 سنين. إذا يبغي شيء وما يحصله يبدأ يهجم علي، يبدأ يرمي نفسه أحيانا تحت أو يغضب علي ويمسكنا فالناس يتفرجون. ففي ناس يفهمون إنه مريض، في ناس يفكرون إنه هذا الطفل مدلع.
I've seen children who've gone undiagnosed and parents just say, oh, my child is lazy and my child is just, you know, antisocial, when it's so clear that there is something there.
دور الأب إنه يصبر، يتحمل ولا يتأثر، ودائما يخلي يعطي انطباع في العائلة إنه يكون مبسوط، بحيث إنه ما حد في العائلة يتأثر. فهذا دور الأب. وحتى لما نطلع وياه برا حتى أمام الناس ما نحسس بالناس إنه أمشي أنا مثلا مع إنسان في أي إعاقة أو مريض ولا شيء. نحن مرينا بظروف صعبة ما أنكر، لكن قدرنا نتغلب عليها بإيماننا بالله سبحانه وتعالى إنه خلاص هذا رزقنا، ما في داعي يعني مثلا نحزن. نحن نحاول نكون أقوياء بحيث إنه نساعده ونخلي حياتنا في البيت تكون طبيعية. يمكن ما في يعني الناس يجونا يزورونا زي أول كثير، زي ما كان قبل محمد ما يكون موجود. فلازم تكون قوي ودائما مش بس تظهر كمظهر، ولكن من قلبك داخل تكون مبسوط كأنه ما في شيء كل شيء طبيعي يعني. وإن شاء الله يجازينا بخير يعني بهذا الحمل اللي أعطاني إياه.
I would treat him like, you know, the special kid, and, you know, and my husband scolded me. He's like, stop treating him differently. He's just like every other kid.
This microwave will put into the spaghetti.
You stop believing that he's different, he's gonna be normal.
You treat a child with special needs as if they have special needs, then you're creating a child that acts as if they have special needs.
Pick it up and then you can close it. Now it's too hot. Have to bring it. This one will blow and make, and then you can eat. Now, but be carefully, but don't eat. It's gonna get hot.
I've noticed with his play, when I've got 5 white drums, and there's a baby drum and a sister drum and a big brother drum and a mummy drum and a daddy drum, and he got these out one day and he said he wanted to play the daddy drum. So that he then turned the situation around and the daddy drum was talking to the others, and I was sort of saying, well what's he saying? And he's saying hello and to mummy and the baby and so on. So in that, I mean, in some of his play he is enacting out the father role.
I love my family, but let's read. And Khalifa was here to bat hair, Baba and Mommy include. He loves for my family.
There has been sadness in his music. There's also been times where he is very reflective, quieter, almost on his own level.
But Baba isn't to sleep out from jail. Can you find Baba?
and I let him go with that and then sort of bring him back out.
Where is Baba Khalifa?
I don't know. He lives out of single act. But can you find Baba? Can you draw? To draw Baba and Khalifa. You draw it. Khalifa can't sit.
Underneath all of these symptoms, underneath all of these, what we call lack of ability, there's a human being that feels, that knows, that thinks.
What do we see about them? They're happy. One.
That was my one wish, if I could have one, to get inside their minds, to see how they see the world, to be part of that, because I think it must be quite crazy for them. It's crazy for people watching them.
No, I'll close the book and I'll put on the cupboard with my box.
But maybe for them it's normal. I would love to be able to see what they see. You know, is the world all like a jigsaw puzzle to them? Is it all disjointed, or what does it mean to them? I would just love to know.
I was at my parents' house watching a program, and it was an Arabic program, and it was about tawahhud, and it was about autism, and it had some parents, and it had some specialists, and it had a sheikh, like a religious sheikh. And when they turned to the sheikh and said, from a religious aspect, what do you believe? Because there were people calling in and saying, why did God punish me? And why have I got this child? And what am I supposed to do with this child? And the sheikh turned around and he said, and I'll never forget this, he said, you can't believe that. You have to believe that God sent you this child because he believed you were the person, the perfect person to bring up this child and change that. He sent this child to you as a gift, not as a punishment.
Khalifa, 14 weeks, has seen quite a change in him and in our relationship.
Hi,
how are you? Oh, thank you. We started off, he was very apprehensive, as you would expect, and now we have a really nice relationship. We work well together, there's negotiation.
It sounds like this, see?
Okay. There's discussion, there's everything that should be happening is happening.
Leave it on. Move away from
Mohammed's journey has been slightly different. He's had ups and downs. No, Mohammed. No, you need, I know you're angry, but not at me. Mohammed would be a long-term music therapy client. You wouldn't do anything like that in 14 weeks. It's music time today. It's music time. Music is the way forward because you can make a lot of noise, you can bang things, you can release a lot of the tension and stress that you're feeling. But we're not at that stage yet. It's our last session today. We have built a relationship, and I think he is okay with me being in his domain. I'm there, it's his house. That's always difficult because that's where he lives and everything in there is his and belongs to him. He's been a nice boy. He is a nice boy. He's a lovely lad. He's just autistic.
He went to a party like 2 weeks ago and he was dancing. Usually he would never do that. So he's most social.
Bridge. Everyone together playing, dancing. He's calling everyone like this now. Before anyone come, he pushing, kicking. No. Reverse calling everyone.
That was like a dream come true for me. The dancing in front of everyone was like a big thing because, you know, he usually just sits and he does this the whole time.
Really loud.
When you starting in music therapy, he's mashallah now. Everyone, madam, relatives, everyone they shock.
Yeah, that's the loudest you've ever played.
His improvement has been very good. I notice, when he doesn't want something, he'll just say stop, or no, or wait. He'll have a command and he won't just get angry. Now what I notice is when he wants my attention, he'll come to my face.
Yes. Look at me.
Mommy. He'll make sure that I'm listening to him, you know. So that's really incredible.
We made it. We make their teeth nice and bites.
I just hope more kids benefit from him in whatever way they can.
No need to put like
Wash, please.
I just want to thank you for what you've done. I always had hope that my son will come out of autism and I'm not going to give up. And the more improvement that I see, the more I feel in the yes, there definitely there is a way that he could become better.
Yes, and he said I will hug to mommy.
Inshallah, he won't be autistic anymore. So thank you for that hope.
الله سبحانه وتعالى كتب لنا هذا الشيء. إن كان نحن أو غيرنا كل واحد يأخذ اللي الله كتب له إياه ويوصل.
Patience. Patience. You need a lot of patience and understanding.
Don't give up.
Agreed.
Don't give up.
Create awareness, spread love.
Yeah. Honestly, the sky's really the limit with these children. I promise you, work hard. It pays off.
لازم يحاولوا إنه يخففوا عن أنفسهم من حمل التعب تبع تربية الأطفال بالصلاة بالإيمان مع نفسهم تسلية في البيت بأي شيء وإن شاء الله الله يوفقهم يعني والحمد لله.